You guys are looking good tonight, huh? Woo! Yeah. All right. Well, I'm not bringing the word tonight, but Brittani is, so. It's exciting for me. It's exciting for me to see, as much as I love, speaking, but it's exciting for me to see you guys stepping up and praying for people and sharing with people and speaking in front and just growing in your faith. And that's what I love to see. I love to see you guys just step up and excel. And so it's exciting for me as a father, as a leader to see Brittani and of course Ethan last week and we got others coming up in the ranks. So yeah, that's good stuff. But anyway, let me pray and then I'll pass it over to Brittani. And Lord, we thank you for your blessings, for your goodness. We thank you for the hope that you give us. We thank you for your strength, Lord. I pray that you would speak to us tonight, that you would speak through Brittani, Lord, that your words would go forth with power. And I pray that, Lord, you would just continue to make us more like you. Lord, might we just be everything you've created us to be, that we might fulfill, Lord, the things you've purposed for us to do, and we might just go forth in your name. In Jesus' name.
Alrighty, so real quick, if you could just turn to the person next to you and just say, God's love for you is relentless. Everybody said it? Okay, so if you get nothing out of tonight, that's what I want you to go away with. That God's love for you is relentless. Danny's been working with me at Ready, Set, Go. He has been for a while, but not with me. This week he's been doing shifts with me, so it's been an interesting experience. It's been fun. But Danny, every morning that he works with me, he brings his Bible, or I think it's Colin's Bible, actually, not his Bible, and he puts it out, and I don't know, I think he reads it throughout the day or whatever, but he has to open, and it just reminded me actually of my first job. I used to bring my Bible to work and read in the morning because I didn't have a customer for like the first 2 hours, so I could just like have my God time at work. It's pretty cool. But my first job when I was 17, I'm a very timid person and I'm kind of scared of new people. So I remember meeting a lot of new people at my job and just being like, hoping they wouldn't talk to me. It's awful. But specifically, there's a lot of interesting people that I worked with. There was this guy, John, and he was kind of, I'll just be honest with you, he was known for being a pervert. Like, he would bring a lot of, I'm just being honest with you, he would bring, like, porn to work, and he would talk really bad about girls, and he would talk very openly about his weekend sex life and stuff, and so I was kind of scared of this dude, and I didn't ever want to talk to him. And I remember in the mornings, whenever he would get to work, like, I would hide behind the espresso machine, and I would just be, like, standing there hoping he wouldn't notice me, and if he said, "Good morning, Brittani," I'd be like, "Morning," and, like, go back and hide and be like, "Keep walking, buddy, just keep walking, I didn't talk to you." But anyways, this one morning, he kind of snuck up on me. I was reading my Bible, and he was like, "Hey, so what are you reading?" And I was like, "Oh, I have to talk to you." Darn. So I told him I was reading the Bible, and I told him I was a Christian and stuff. And so he asked me to read the Bible to him. And so I was like, okay, so like I ran into a psalm because I didn't know, like I think what I was reading, I felt like he wouldn't understand. So I just like picked a psalm that was my favorite, and I read it to him. And I remember after I read it to him, he was like, "Oh my goodness, I needed that. That was amazing." And I was like, okay. And like after that, I don't know, like the whole rest of his day kept coming up to me and saying, "Thank you for reading the Bible to me. It really like made my day. It was awesome." And I don't know, like even after that, days after, he was just like, "That one day, that was pretty cool." And like, I don't know, it was just, but anyways, the point I'm making is after that day, God really softened my heart to people because I think I kind of just wrote him off, or I was really judgmental because of his reputation and because of just things that were said about him. So two things that God taught me, I think, is first of all, that the Bible has power and it brings life, because nothing I said like impacted him as much as the Bible that I read, and just reading those words to him, he told him, like, you know, you could just tell it brightened his day up. But the second thing is that I'm so grateful that God does not view me the way that I view other people or the way that we view each other, because we can cast out judgments and make assumptions about people, and I'm so grateful that God does not feel that way about me. And so anyways, going forward after that day, God really softened my heart towards my coworkers, and I worked with a lot of people that were a lot of a mess. I don't know if you guys can relate, if you guys have any coworkers that are a bit of a mess. But specifically, there was this other girl, Keela, and Keela, she was interesting. First of all, God had to soften my heart to her because I'm not a morning person. If you know me, like, don't say very much to me in the morning or I'm not going to respond. I'll just kind of give you a blank stare and hope you get the message that like, I'm not awake yet. But anyways, this girl, Keela, when I would work in the cafe, she would come 9 o'clock in the morning with her Snickers bar, like every single morning, and she'd just plop up on the counter and she'd start talking to me about her life. And so I had to wake up and be ready for that. But Keela, I shared my story with her and talked to her about God, and she just was not very interested. At least I didn't think she was interested, because I would talk to her about God and she'd kind of blow me off and keep telling me about her day and stuff. But Keela, the more I got to know her, I realized that she was dating a drug dealer, and a lot of her and the other coworkers, I won't go into it, but they did a lot of bad things in the parking lot after we were closed. And I don't know, my heart really broke for her, and we became good friends, and I even actually drove her to her boyfriend's house late night to grab like clothes. We kind of snuck in and snuck out so that she could escape from that situation. And I don't know, we went through some stuff together, and my dad actually was able to share about Jesus with her and her boyfriend several times. And I don't know, actually, I don't know how long it took, but I know it was a couple years of knowing Keela before she finally gave her life to God, and she actually got baptized in our pool at our house, which was pretty cool. But just looking back and seeing how God was able to use me once my heart was softened towards people, and once I started viewing people the way that God views them instead of writing them off or casting judgment. But something I guess that God really spoke to me as I was like just kind of reminiscing and thinking through these people, just is how much God's love for us is unconditional. And it doesn't depend on how good we are or how bad we are. God just unconditionally loves each one of us, and his love for us really is relentless. Have you ever needed a second chance? Think about your life. Maybe it's something you did, you broke someone's trust. Maybe you didn't make good enough grades or something. Maybe you missed out on an opportunity because you weren't motivated. Maybe you were like me and you missed opportunities to share your faith with people because you were too timid, or because you judged people. Or maybe you ruined your witness through something that you did. Think about a time that you needed a second chance, and I'm actually going to have you share with people around you a time that you needed a second chance. But real quick, I'll share a time when I needed a second chance and I didn't get one. I had a friend named Shannon. We were best friends for actually 10 years. We met when we were 6 years old, and we were best friends until I was 16. And I'll just share, this is kind of lame of me. You ever know that girl that puts boys before their girlfriends? Or maybe dudes, you have friends that always put girls before hanging out with you guys. That was me in this situation. Me and Shannon, we've been best friends for forever, and I was about to move to Texas from California, and I remember like the last couple months before I moved, she knew I liked this boy, and I was always hanging out with this boy, and I didn't make time for her. And looking back, I'm like, man, I really wish I could go back and have a second chance with her, because going forward, anytime I tried to talk to her about God, she was just like very shut down towards me, and I didn't have a voice in her life anymore because I really blew that with her. And so looking back, I desperately wish I could have had a second chance with her. So just real quick, I just use that as an example to just share with those around you a time you needed a second chance.
Trying to think of like a defining moment, but well, no, like just like a defining moment where like I needed a second chance. Just was like
All right, if you have your Bibles, I'm going to be reading from 2 Samuel.
CJ.
Have you guys ever set time aside to read the Bible and to have God time? And you're reading your Bible and you're really confused on why you're reading what you're reading? Anybody? Just me? Like, you've never opened up the Bible, have God time, started reading and been like, why did I turn to this? Or why am I reading this? So I've been reading through 1st and 2nd Samuel. And 1st Samuel and the beginning of 2nd Samuel, it goes through the adventures of King David. Talks about other people too, but King David's the main one in there. And if you want to learn about King David, you should read them because they're really cool. You learn about David and Goliath. You learn about David and his mighty men and just how strong a warrior he was and his heart for God. And I'm reading, and he messes up in there, but he just mostly has a heart for God, and he does all these awesome things. And so I'm reading about David, and I'm all pumped. Like, honestly, every day reading through 1st and 2nd Samuel, I just love reading it. It's awesome. But this day, this is like last week, I was reading, and I was like, man, this is so depressing. God, why did I read this today for my God time? So, like, I kind of have this rule, though, that if I read something and I don't get anything out of it, that I keep reading, or I switch to another book or chapter, and just until I find something that's really, like, just going to speak to me to jumpstart my day. So I kept reading, thankfully, and I found a really awesome verse I'm going to share with you guys. So kind of before I get to this really awesome verse, it's really gloomy and kind of just weird. Like, you're reading all this and it's just, I don't know, so raw. But anyways, so King David, his daughter, gets raped by her, I don't know, it's like half-brother. And then her other brother finds out about it, kills that brother, and then after he kills him, he flees. And, yeah, it sounds so depressing, huh? But I'm reading through this, and I'm like, okay, there's got to be something in here, God, that you're going to speak to me to, like, jumpstart my day. So then you go to this chapter, 2 Samuel 14, and one of David's friends sends this wise widow to talk to King David. And it doesn't really say much about this lady other than that she was wise. And this is what she says. All of us must die eventually. Oh, this is verse 14, chapter 14, verse 14. All of us must die eventually. That's real encouraging, right? Our lives are like water, Our lives are like water spilled out on the ground, which cannot be gathered up again. But God does not just sweep life away. Instead, he devises ways to bring us back when we have been separated from him. And I'm just going to hang out on this verse because I just thought it was so cool that in the midst, like, there's just so much chaos going on in David's life. And if you keep reading to the next couple chapters, it doesn't get any better for him. It's kind of like there's other weird stuff that's just going on. There's a lot of, just interesting. But anyways, I just really felt like God just made this verse pop out. And it really spoke to me where it says that God devises ways to bring us back when we have been separated from him. just because I feel like there's been so many times when my heart has been wandering, or I've just felt separated from God or felt distant from God. I don't know if you can relate. Just as a Christian, just trying to pursue God and please God, I just feel like there's been so many seasons in my life where I've just been like, man, I can't hear God's voice, or man, every time I read the Bible, just it's not getting to me. You know, it's not just like speaking to me. I just feel like what God spoke to me through this verse was that God is always just beckoning us back to Him. He's always trying to find ways to bring us back to Him when we've been separated from Him. And that goes for us as Christians, and then also for those that don't even know Him. And as I was reading this, just kind of like thinking through those people that God has placed in my life, even the people, my coworkers, John and Keela, that I was telling you about, just how God was beckoning them unto Him. And just no matter what their background was, that God was just pursuing them just like He pursues me. So if you could, again, just the person next to you, just say, God's love for you is relentless.
God's
love for you is
So I'm actually going to ask that, I'm just going to pass these note cards around. And what I'm going to challenge everyone to do is to find a verse, not right this second, but to just find a verse that would motivate you in your relationship with God. As you read the Bible, just pray that God would show you a verse that would just be a verse that would just help you in your relationship with Him, and write it on this card and read it every single day. So just take this card with you. Obviously, maybe some of you just know what the verse is, and you know you need to write it down and read it right away. For me, I chose Psalm 33:18, and it says, "But the Lord watches over those who fear Him, those who rely on His unfailing love." And that's just my verse that I'm going to read for now. But find something that works for you. And I just really wanted to encourage us that to embrace God when He's pursuing you. I think that here we're really spoiled, because at least I feel spoiled because I haven't always lived in Florida, but the sunsets here are just phenomenal. Anytime you want to escape and go spend time with God, you can just go to the beach any evening. And I just feel like God is always just calling out to us, just showing us how magnificent and big He is through all of creation. And it's just on us to make the time to spend time with Him, to discipline ourselves, to set time aside to spend time with God every day. But God is always pursuing us, and He's always wanting a relationship with us. And something I read this week that I thought was really cool is that it said all of God's intentions with us is love. God's intentions with us are never for harm, always because He's just crazy about us and He loves us. And I'm actually going to have Kylie read something for us. Where's Kylie at? Hi, Kylie.
My future hangs on this. You made preciousness from dust. Please don't stop creating me. Your blood offers the chance to rewind to innocence, reborn perfect as a child. Oh, your cross, it changes everything. There my world begins again with you. Oh, your cross, it's where my hope restarts. A second chance is heaven's heart. When sin and ugliness collide with redemption's kiss, beauty awakens by romance. Always inside this mess, I have found forgiveness, mercy infinite as you. Oh, your cross, it changes everything. There my world begins again with you. Oh, your cross, it's where my hope restarts. A second chance is heaven's heart. Countless second chances we've been given at the cross. Countless second chances we've been given at the cross. Fragments of brokenness, salvaged by the art of grace. You craft life from our mistakes. Black skies of my regrets, outshone by this kindness. New life dawns over my soul. Oh, your cross, it changes everything. There my world begins again with you. Oh, your cross, it's where my hope restarts. A second chance is heaven's heart. Oh, your cross, it changes everything. There my world begins again with you. Oh, your cross, it's where my hope restarts. A second chance is heaven's heart. Countless second chances we've been given at the cross. Countless second chances we've been given at the cross.
I'm actually going to invite the worship team to come back up. But I wanted us to think about when we've needed a second chance with God. And maybe you need a second chance with God starting tonight. But has there been times when you just needed a fresh start? What I love about God is that every day we have an opportunity to have a fresh start with Him, and He loves giving us second chances because He just loves us that much. But even if it's something super big or super small, God's just always willing and ready to give us that second chance to draw close to Him.
Let the song of Hallelujah rise. for eternity. For eternity, all my heart will give, all the glory to your name. Let that be true. For eternity, all my heart will give, all the glory to your name. What have you done? You murdered me on that cross, accused in absence of wrong. The sin washed away in your blood, to mention the sense of it all. I know that your love breaks my fall. The scandal of grace, you died in my place, so my soul will live. Oh, to be like you, give all I have just to know you. Jesus, there's no one beside you, forever the hope in my heart. Jesus, there's no one beside.